Where's the bang bang, Preston? Come on.
I can't breathe.
Pub Sports Radio. Come find us in Southtown 101. Subscribe on YouTube and all platforms where podcasts are found.
Boom. We are live, baby, live. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio, NCAA Net Profit. We got the new background. We're psyched, Max. It's Tuesday, February 2nd. Or Wednesday. Sorry, it's trash day. I get confused. Confused on the days here. They all been running to another February 2nd, which is Wednesday. How you doing today? I know you're sweating over this Florida game right now, Missouri. Let me know how you're doing now. How was last night? We'll run through that real quick like we always do, and we'll get to your line movement, bro.
Yeah, last night I literally packaged up some of my fecal matters, vacuum sealed it, and sent it to Bowling Green University. That's what they deserve with that goddamn second half effort against Central Michigan. I don't know what to say except I'm sorry for their performance. They were just, it was just not a good situation. Other than that, you know, I think that it was a decent night. I think that my most exciting game and bet that I made was taking UNLV on the alt line once I found out that Sherfield wasn't playing in the game. So very interesting night. I am a little distracted right now by the last 11 seconds in this Missouri game at 129, having the under, having Missouri on the second half money line. So I'm going to focus on doing the show, but if my attention goes that way, forgive me.
You're forgiven already. Yeah, it was a decent night for me last night. Man, A&M, thank God for all 11 points. In that one, just got the cover. The unders were good late. The Cal Stanford was good, Max, for the show, which is good. I also had the Rivers.
I tailed you on that. Thank you.
Excellent. Where I said 130, I see Riverside 130. We had to go that under. We talked about that yesterday. Was good. Air Force, I did take them. They were horrid, which I was worried about a little bit.
I hedged a little with that. I actually took first half over that got over by half a point, and then I took Utah State's team total over. And
I was with you as you talked about yesterday. You know, after finding out he would be out, I like UNLV a little bit. I didn't kind of get all the love. I know they were coming off the big win, and they showed up yesterday at the MAC. It was good to see the students be there and actually kind of pack the MAC, the lower bowl, because it holds about 20,000. And UNLV play well and get to cover. So it was a decent day for me. All right, Max, shout out to everyone in the chat. Right before we get to your the line movement from last night all the way till today, there's already been a ton, I'm sure. We got a great card today. Let's hit up the chat real quick. Sammy Comer, Bill, what's up, my guy? T-Mac, always up in here, our guy T-Mac. Colton, how you doing? Rem Most, Ron Crawford, Dr. Jekyll, Clayton Smith, Rodney Barton, good to see you. AJN, Nasty Nate, what's up, my guy? Mike M. Who else in your puzzler? Shout out to all you guys. Preston, there he is. Shout out to you guys. I'll hit everyone else when you get done with your line movement, Max. I want to hear it. I want to hear the breakdown. Give me the line from side total from last night tonight that's caught your eye.
Yeah, listen, Connor, we've had a ton of line movement in a lot of different games. I'm going to try and focus on the ones that are going to matter most to our audience, the pubbers. And they know to fuck with their eyes open. So I hope that they're able to make good use of this information. We've seen the Citadel Furman game go from 147 to as high as 151, and definitely a good precedent for that to happen. We have seen some SEC line movement in the Arkansas-Georgia game going from 153.5 down to as low as 151. That's the Josh Applebaum rule right there. And with the side, we've also seen a 1.5 line movement towards Arkansas, which this game just brings nightmares back from the Alabama game. I'll just leave it at that. We have seen some pretty nice line movement in favor of East Tennessee State, making Western Carolina looking a lot more attractive. Now a 6-point underdog, where they did open up as a 4-point underdog at home. We have seen some movement in the Butler Xavier total and spread, 129.5 to as high as 132, and from 13 as a Xavier opening line, now they're down to as low as a 11-point favorite. When we do look at the Rhode Island Fordham game, we have seen that total come up and come down. We have seen the spread move 2 points in favor of Rhode Island, and that is definitely an interesting move because what does Fordham have to do? Hit threes. What does Fordham have to do? Have their best personnel available. And if Fordham can't hit threes, then they are going to have a big time. They're going to have a very difficult time being able to do their part to get this game over. When we look at the LaSalle game, this is a spot where we have seen George Washington go from a pick'em to as high as 2. Now we're getting a little buyback, so we are seeing some reverse line movement on that game. We did see St. Louis open up as a 1-point road favorite. They are now a 1-point home road dog, and I think that is a big coin flip game. So, when we go to the American, a team that definitely is getting some respect, and it's very hard to understand why, is the Temple University basketball team. They went from a pick'em to a 1.5-point favorite on the road against ECU, which leads me to believe that there must be something wrong with Tristan Newton, because that's the only reason why I can see that happening. When we go to the Kentucky Vanderbilt game, it is important to know that we have seen some movement in favor of Vandy. Kentucky opened up at 16.5. They're down to as low as 14.5 and 14s now. So definitely interesting move. If you're looking at Kentucky, that first half number is probably getting just a little bit sweeter. When we look at the total, though, the number has moved a couple points, but it did come back down. So you are getting pretty much close to opening value. When we do look at a spot in the ACC, I think that we have to look at this Wake Forest Pittsburgh total. We've seen it open at 134.5 and is now as high as 137. It's a very interesting move considering that Pittsburgh may have a little difficulty scoring against this Wake Forest defense tonight, and Wake Forest may be a team total that you may be interested in. I think that when we look at another line that has moved, we have to go and look at this Chicago State Abilene Christian game. We've seen Abilene Christian go from a 17-point favorite to a 19-point favorite. We've seen the total go from 148 to as low as 137, and both are very perplexing. Chicago State's defense is not that good. Abilene Christian should be able to put up 80 points in this game. So we'll see what happens and if that line move is right or wrong. When we do go down the board, obviously we can talk about Loyola Chicago and Illinois State. That total has moved from 144 down to 138. And by my numbers, it's almost in take the over time. So we'll talk a little more about that game later on in the show. I think that another total that has moved up and something we should take note of is the fact that Dayton opened up as a 118.5, got as high as 121.5, and now you can find anything close to that and 120. So very interesting line moves. And the biggest one that I want to touch on before I get into some of my games is definitely Syracuse and NC State. We saw the 156.5 pop open last night. I don't know how many of us were able to get it, but it's down to 151 or 151.5. So very interesting move. Syracuse's shooting has been inconsistent, and Darian Sebron, he can really have a big game from a rebound, scoring, and assist potential. So very interesting number. If you play the Josh Applebaum rule, you know what it is. It's under basketball.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Max. And the shooting, it's just the inconsistency, you know. And they just had a huge over, the win way over on Saturday against Wake Syracuse. What was that game 94-82, I believe? It went way over.
Yes,
the 150. Next thing you know, with them, they play a game in the 60s, like you talked about. Just shooting, you know, is not there. So very good eye. Shout out to that one. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on, or are you ready to get into games?
Definitely the Oklahoma State Kansas State game that went from 128.5 to 132 or 132.5. I'm looking to take the under still on that game. Oklahoma State does not have consistent offense that is going to be able to show up on the road. Maybe after a talking to by their coach to the media, but I'm not sure right now. I don't have a high edge on that game.
Yeah, Okie State is just a team early on. We played to some overs, and then but kind of since conference has started, Max, it's been under. They've been kind of a dead under team. And K-State as well always plays with the under. Shout out to the chat. We got to give the chat, as I always say, the best goddamn chat in the goddamn game. Shout out there, Max. What's up with Florida? Up by 1?
Florida won by 1, so I cashed my second half money line and I got the under. So I'm content. Beautiful. I'm not going to start punching things and throwing things around.
Excellent news. 66-65 Florida. Shout out to Brian, John, Polly Walnuts, Peter. How you doing? T Nice, Puzzler, Bill McDonald. Great to see you. Rude, Jude up in here. Jake Burns. Abel Alvarez, good to see you. My guy G up in the house. What's up, G? Guillermo Zertucci. My guy, good to see you, man. I can't wait to see you. San Antonio. Nasty Nate. Hashtag we be pubbing. That's right. All right, Max, let's get to your games. Let's get rocking. We got a huge card here. Let's get to them. Let's get to the first one you wanted to talk about here. Chicago State, Abilene Christian. You mentioned the line move here. 18.5 to 19, like you mentioned. Total right around 138.5. What is your looking here? What's your look here?
Yeah, listen, when we go to this game, Connor, it's a real interesting spot. I think that Abilene Christian is an offense that's waiting to just burst out. They bursted out the last 2 games. I think that this is the game that they can freaking make it the freaking triple. With Chicago State, we know what quality of defense that we're going to get. We know that we have a very disorganized defense. It's really about, can Chicago State score on Abilene? Abilene's going to pressure them. Abelene's going to freaking make it difficult for them to get into rhythm. And I just think that at the end of the day, this is an Abilene team that, while I don't want to take at this number, I have no problem taking them at a team total, because by my projections, by my numbers, this is a game that they win convincingly. And the best value, if you're not into laying this type of big spread, is to take that team total. That's why it's there. That's why I laid it. And I'm good with that 77.5.
Excellent. Team total. Yeah, don't worry about that big number. Just take it on out. I don't blame you at all there, Max. All right, let's get to your second one. Lamar, Texas Rio Grande. This is 6.5. There's a bunch of different kind of numbers on this game out there. 6.5. Total 146. What are you looking at here?
Yeah, this is an interesting situational spot because there's a lot riding on this game for both teams. Both teams are trying to survive to stay in 10th place and qualify for the WAC conference tournament. One of these teams are not going to qualify. So this game really matters. I can understand a lot of the dog and contrarian players getting on this spot with Lamar. For me, though, I can't do it because this is the game that they're honoring Lou Hill. And while I think that there is a possibility for UT Rio Grande Valley to get off to a bad start, I don't think that they're going to fall on their face when this game is definitely going to be an emotional one. I think that from a win-loss perspective, you have the better player, the better game-changing player. The issue is, what's your depth? We saw last time or 2 games ago against Abilene where they had to get somebody to come out from the freaking where they had to go get a walk on a uniform when they were playing with 4 players on the floor. So I worry about if guys foul out tonight for them, but I still think that there's value with taking them in this kind of situation. I just don't think that my numbers can take the death of their coach into consideration, and I'm going to ride that emotional situational angle.
Excellent. Yeah, that's cool, Colton. Right on, man. You went to school with him. Nice. Shout out, Razor Sharp Picks. What's up, my guy? Good to see you in here.
What's up, Razor?
Shout out to everyone. Hit the like button. That's all we ask here. Just give up a like
Well,
if you
I want
go
more,
ahead.
Connor. I want
Max
more.
wants. I know.
I want more.
What
I
am
want
I
your
saying? As
stripper
soon as I say
story.
that, I just fucked up.
It's
You
not
know.
true. I want more. I want their favorite cupcakes. I want their stripper stories. I want to know where they're watching the show, if they're hiding from their wives or girlfriends. Like, I want to know all this stuff.
There you go. He let it. I just want to like. Max wants all that stuff. I think we can get a little bit of both. Just hit the like button. Only takes a quick second. And if you haven't, I hope everyone, you guys, like I said, this chat's dedicated. You guys are always in here. But if you haven't subscribe. We're almost at 15K. I'm sure we're almost there. Probably, I don't know, 20 away or some bullshit like that. I don't know the exact number.
25.
But if you 25, look at that. On it. We're right there. So tell your friends, tell your wives, your girlfriends, whatever, your girlfriend and your wife, tell them to subscribe. And Club Sports Radio. We're here Monday through Friday and Saturday mornings going out through. All right, Max, let's get to your next one here. Tulane versus Houston. Man, this Houston team for me, Max, is a stay away. I can't wait for you to talk about it. They're laying 17, total 133. What do you like in this one?
Yeah, for me, this is just the first half play. I'm only interested in backing this Houston team and watching this Houston offense operate. While there definitely has been a lack of quality American all conference type personnel, I do think that something has remained the same, and that's Houston's ability to freaking score the basketball early. I think that they're going to be on pace for 75 plus in this game. I think that Tulane with Jalen Cook in the lineup, he makes such a big difference. He creates so many opportunities for his teammates to get better looks. And I just think that at the end of the day, Tulane has the weapons and the quickness to get inside. Can they do a good job on the offensive glass and stop Houston from getting all those easy opportunities from Fabian White and Josh Carlton? I'm not sure, but by my numbers, this is a first half that could be in the 70s. So I'm definitely taking it, and I'm quite confident with the fact that I'm getting such a low number.
What's the number you got?
Sorry,
Max?
hold on.
Okay. Yeah,
62.
whenever. 62. Okay. Cool. Excellent. Boom. There we go. Yeah, like Sammy said, you got to hit the like button. You got to hit the hundo, mando for sure. Let's get to your next one. Missouri State here versus Southern Illinois. Interesting game. Missouri State's laying 2.5 on the road. Total 131. What's your angle in this one?
Yeah, listen, I think that with Missouri State, they are very complete. I think that when you see how good they bring that defensive pressure at home, and they really freaking play hard man-to-man, good closeout defense, that's something that really stands out to me. Now, obviously, they've had to abandon that a couple times on the road, and with this matchup tonight, the biggest news is that Cooper Neese is going to be back in the lineup for Indiana State. So I don't know how much he's going to be able to contribute, but I also know that if they get Micah Thomas back, who is a pretty big freaking piece of this offense and a starter, that will just add on to Indiana State's appeal to me. I think that Indiana State at the end of the day has the opportunity, SIU. Sorry, I got confused there.
Missouri. Yeah, Missouri State.
The Missouri State game in SIU.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got completely confused there.
You're good. I was just about to tell you.
I was just like, I'm like, this doesn't make sense. No, for the Missouri State game, I think that with how complete this team is, they're going to be able to come in to SIU and really force SIU to score the basketball. I think that when you look at SIU, they're going to need Marcus Domask to have a big game for them. And we've seen Marcus Domask in high pressure situations. He's made mistake after mistake. He cost his team a complete win by not knowing how much time was on the clock and holding on to it for too long. It rings in my memory. And while I do like SIU as a home dog in certain situations, the number is what I'm not liking here. If we were talking 4.5 or 5, I'd be looking at SIU. I think that at the end of the day, Missouri State has to win this game by 3 points. They have a good 3-point shooter in Jalen Manette that they can bring off the bench. They have a very good, probably one of the best, if not the best scorer in the conference in Isaiah Mosley. From a situational perspective, it doesn't give me anything to back SIU. I got to back Missouri State. I got to back them first half, and I got to take their team total over.
Excellent. What is the team total? What'd you get?
I haven't bet the team total. I've only bet the first half of the full game.
All right. Missouri State's been really good all year, Max. You know, it kind of seems like this is short price. Tricky, though. And I always talk about Southern Illinois as just a team at times struggles to score, and they can. What do you think about this full game total? Would you lean over or under the 131?
Yeah, I think that if Missouri State's going to be winning this game, then yeah, I think that Southern Illinois is going to have an easier time keeping a team like Drake or Valpo down than they are against how much inside-out action you get with Isaiah Mosley and Gage Prim.
Okay. Right on. Thank you for the breakdown.
Sorry
about Raymond
up there, bud.
No, you're good. Hey, no worries. You got
nice
all this in your brain right here, all these games. Raymond, I think, yeah, what do you say? You're in Vegas. Yeah, we're going to be in the first round. I think there's games in San Antonio. You know that, Big Show? I think there's games in the first round and second.
I think the Elite Eight has the San Antonio games.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I hadn't double checked that. I just knew they had some of them. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to go to Houston or what's going on there for sure. I think Jimmy will be there. I might already be gone by then. But let's get to your next one here, Max. Let's get to your last one. Interesting game. Florida State, Clemson. Clemson laying 2.5 here at home. Total 137.5. What do you like in this one?
Yeah, this is a first half over for me. I think that Clemson with their 3-point shooting definitely have made themselves an over team, at least early on. And when we're talking about a number that is between 64.5 and 66, that would be my range and my threshold numbers for this total. I think that with Clemson at home, we have seen a more competent and dependable 3-point shooting team.
Yeah.
We know that they're going to be able to get to the free throw line, and they're going to have possibly the advantage of having the absence of both Caleb Mills and Raekwon Evans to add on to Malik Osborne being out for the season. So I just think that like Florida State is going to be more and more dependent on Jalen Worley and Matthew Cleveland to give them consistent scoring if those two aren't in the lineup, and it just doesn't give me a ton of confidence. Obviously, Anthony Polite is someone that they've got to be able to find on the 3-point line, and they got to be able to keep off the glass while not turning it over in the half court. But I think that this is a Clemson spot for them to freaking get a win. I do think that they get off to a hot start, and we see that 3.5 points per minute pace. That's at least what I have in my projections.
Excellent. Okay, Sweet 16, Elite 8. Yeah, in there. Shout out to my guy, Spencer Penny Bombs. What's up? Pound Cake Pusha, UNLV 94. What's up? Crystal Warren, great to see you.
Happy birthday.
Shout out to everyone. It's her birthday. Happy birthday.
Yes.
Get it. I love it. Happy birthday. That's cool. February 2nd. Got it. All right, Max, those are your games. Let's get to mine. My first one here, VMI Greensboro. Greensboro's laying 2. This total is 136.5. Here's the deal. I'm on the over, Max. This is my lone over for the day, and it could be tricky. Obviously, Greensboro at times could struggle to score, and they are at home. But I'm riding VMI that this is just a low total for them. They just beat Tennessee State 83-79 on the weekend. Kerfman, Stevens, we know them. They average, 19, 17, and they're deeper than that all the way around. Greensboro is coming off a blowout loss to Wofford, 85-66. They haven't been playing great defense as of late. So it's an interesting game. I think the total's low enough. We usually see VMI games higher 140s, 150. I think this one can trickle over here. I just think it's too low when it's sitting at 136.5. I got to take the over. It's my lone one of the day. I need points in this game. What do you think? VMI's been good. They're only getting 2 points on the road. They've been great ATS. all year long. Greensboro needs this win. What do you think in this one?
Yeah, I think that as a dog, this is definitely a VMI number by my numbers. And I think that when I look at it, I like taking VMI overs more in the range of 140 or higher. This range, I think that both teams have been pretty much a coin flip. So in a coin flip situation, I hope Noli Knows is not here and his ears are plugged. If he is, I'd rather take the over.
Yeah, sorry, Nolan. I'm on a bunch of unders here. I'll get to them coming up. Dude, the VMI just shoots the rock so well. I mean, almost 40% from three, Max. And they're bad defensively. So they'll just give up points. And Greensboro's not this great offensive team, but I think VMI's defense, easily can get to 65, 70. So I think we get over this total. And even in the past few years, this matchup has gone over. So even when Greensboro's defense has played a little bit better, these teams, when they meet, it's gone over. So I'm rolling with you here today. Might be square. All righty, let's get to my next one. Bradley, Northern Iowa. I thought this game was pretty interesting. Max, totals 139.5. On the total here, I lean under, but I'm looking at the side. I've been backing Bradley a little bit lately in this run. I think 2 games out of the 4 they've won straight. Obviously, they came out horrible, 1-5 to start the year. They're 12-10 now. Like you said, they've won 4 straight against some solid teams. What's the guy? I can't spell it. I don't know. It's Rink Mast.
Yeah, Rink Mast.
Rink Mast. The guy's great. I mean, 18-9. I think it's just too many points here. I know Northern Iowa's pretty good at home. One thing concerns me is Bradley can get sloppy with the basketball, but I think that's a little bit behind him. They've played better, and especially defensively as of lately. So I'm going to take the 4.5 with Bradley, and total-wise, I'd lean to this under. What do you like here?
Yeah, listen, I think that I like Northern Iowa on this side. I think that with AJ Green back to frickin' his regular all-conference self, it just adds another frickin' dynamic score to Noah Carter and Nate Heisey. There's so many weapons on this Northern Iowa team. All are capable of having the starring role. And I just think that in a game against a very physical Bradley team with a deep front court with Rink Moss and also Ari Boya back healthy in the lineup, it does present a difficult challenge at the rim. However, when Northern Iowa does win these kind of games, they do win the game with a 3-point shot. So,
yeah, and we'll see. I'm just going off a little bit of Bradley's play lately. 6-1 ATS their last 7. Northern Iowa at times being these home favorites, which they are a lot. They've struggled to cover some of these numbers. Obviously not a big one today. I wish I was getting, 6.5. I really feel good, but I'm going to take the 4.5 here with Bradley. I'm going to go one more, and I'd only look under in that game. All right, let's get to my next one, Max. I think you'd like this game since you didn't talk about it. Gardner-Webb versus High Point. High Point at home here, catching 2 points right away. I like them. They've been so great at home, especially lately. They're 5-0. I think ATS their last 5 at home. I like a little bit on that and might bet that, but I like this under, Max. I think this is a dead under. Speaking of Noli Knows, I think it's one of the ones that caught my eye right away. I thought this should have been 124, 125. I can't believe it was 130. Gardner-Webb just played well. They held Radford 61-42. High Point's played a lot better defense and lower scoring games at home. They had one of their higher scoring games, their last one versus Campbell in that 5-point loss, 77-72. But this is a team 12-3-1. Their last 12 on the road has gone under for Gardner-Webb. The last 12 at home for High Point, 9-3 to the under. We got 130 here. Give me the under. Gardner-Webb, High Point. What do you like?
Yeah, plain and simply, Connor, I lined this game at 4 for High Point, so I'm all over that shit.
Excellent. I like to hear it. I think they're solid here at home as a dog, but I really like the under as well. I just think this game is 60s, Matt, if they can get into the 60s there. Alrighty, let's get to my last one. This one I haven't bet yet, but I got a strong lean to it. These two teams met just a few weeks ago. Temple, East Carolina. Temple's 1.5-point favorites, totals 135. Score was 78-75. Since then, and even before then, Temple's defense has been really, really good of late, Max. East Carolina struggled to score at times. They have a kind of a bad defense. They're okay, good steals. certain other defense, and they're really bad late in games is East Carolina. That's why they can't get wins. You know what I mean? They really falter late. I don't love laying the point with half with Temple here on the road. It's just a lean, but I lean to this under. I'm going to stick with the under. I think it's a little bit too high in this game. Second matchup, first one was a little high scoring. This one's not. Both these teams have been playing to the under their last 3 or 4 games, like I think they should. 69-61 versus SMU. East Carolina, 60-59 in their loss to Cincinnati by 1. As long as someone doesn't shoot the lights out, I think the game stays under. What do you think here?
Yeah, listen, I think that definitely a good way to approach ECU. ECU's definitely had some trouble scoring the basketball and getting to that 60-point plateau. It's pretty obvious to see. I think that with this line, I just don't understand what's going on with it. Why is ECU an underdog even at home? With Tristan Newton in the lineup, that is the game changer right there. If he comes out and has a big game, ECU's going to win that game on home court. I think that it's a lot of stress, and for not a good enough reward, I'm staying away from it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's what I mean. If Newton is hot and this team, so that's why I kept it as a lean. I wanted to talk to you about it. I thought it was a little bit high. Yeah.
Even if he does get hot, Connor, it's not a freaking foregone conclusion. He's been the one slumping the last couple games. He has a combined 16 turnovers in 3 games. That is unacceptable.
Yeah, it's been really bad. Temple, another thing, 30th in the country in blocks. They're a great rebounding team, just great on the glass. So that's why I was leaning to this under as well. They've just played really, really great team defense, especially in conference for Temple. That's why I leaned to the under 135 there. All right, Max, those are my games. We got yours. We got mine. Everyone, give us your games. We got a full slate. Me and Max want to get to them all here in the next 25 minutes. Let's get to it. But first, let's get a word from our sponsor. Here we go. If you're in the San Antonio area, go to Southtown 101, best bar in town. Get some drinks, eat a burger, some wings, get up there, sing some karaoke. Southtown 101 in San Antonio. And you need a book. We all need multiple books. Got to have it for these lines to catch it early. Go to mybookie.ag at promo code PubSports. Use the Bitcoin. Put 1,000. They give you 1,000. They match it. And last, go to manscaped.com. Hit promo code PubSports. Get the Weed Whacker 4.0, best product they got. Go to manscaped.com, no doubt. And get the pub rub. Rub your meat. Get it on your brisket, your ribs, your chicken. Shit's unbelievable. 2 for $25. Don't get 1 for 14. Get them both. PubSportsRadio.com. And while you're there, cop some of our swag, our T-shirts there. They're great freaking shit. All right, Max, let's get to this. I saw someone early here, the added board. I'll just hit to this one first. Longwood, Asheville. Here, along with 2.5-point favorites, total 137.5. What do you like here?
Yeah, number's too short on the total, in my opinion. It's over City, and I'm very confident in Longwood's ability. It's just a tough matchup with a big difference maker like Drew Pember in the middle and Tyjon Jones and LJ Thorpe and Trent Stempney and company in the backcourt. Longwood's going to need a good start. That means that they're going to have to score. Justin Hill, definitely due for another big game, and if he can replicate his most recent performance, I do think that by my numbers at least, Longwood has a lot of possession advantages, and I do think that by my freaking number that I would have lined it at, this is still too short. So Longwood.
Okay. Yeah, I just didn't love it enough. I just don't want to lay the points with Longwood on the road. Shout out to UNLV 94. I don't know my top play. All these plays are the same. I'd go with the Greensboro over 136 or this high point under 130. I really like those both. So double top play for me. So I work. All right, Max, let's get to the big one. Wisconsin, Illinois. We've talked about this in the back. Wisconsin 7.5-point favorite, 6.5 now. Total around 137 ish there. What do you like?
Yeah, listen, I think that when you look at it, I'm taking Wisconsin. I'm taking their team total over. With the Bulldog, Johnny Davis, I think that anything's possible. You just need freaking that complimentary scoring. Brad Davison has done a good job. It's time for you to give the middle finger one more time to Coach Underwood. Do it on their freaking orange-ass court. Fuck with your eyes open and do it for all the cheese in Wisconsin.
All right, Max, I know. It's so interesting, this spot. It's just, I'm going to lay off. You're right. Davis is hot. I think they stay close. It's just like, take the 7. It seems so easy. This seems like a strange game. They could get blown out. I don't know. What do you think about the total? You like that over you mentioned? Team total and stuff?
I like the team total over just because Wisconsin hasn't really been held under that. I'm not really going to start trying to guess when that's going to happen. So I'm going to ride the number as long as I can find perceived value in it.
Yeah, and it's going to happen, Max, these Big Ten dogfights where it's in the 60s. But for the most part, Illinois games, and even Wisconsin scored more than they have in years past. They've gone over. So, not that I love the total, but maybe look a tad bit over. I'm sure that's right when they'll play in the 60s tonight. So,
Connor, just to interrupt you, my number one side dish at Popeyes is fries. And you know what? You be nice to the people there. They'll give you a bigger portion. They'll be like, yeah, listen, you got a big belly to fill. We'll help you fill it on the first time out.
Here we go. I mean, these are the important questions.
I'm a simple
Max
guy,
delivers them.
I'm a simple
He
guy.
delivers.
Yeah.
He delivers. No
I
doubt.
deliver food. I may deliver something else, though.
All right. Let's get to this one. Colton wants to know Miami -4. I think it's 4.5 now over Notre Dame. Max total 141.5. What do you like here?
Yeah, I'll tell you how much I like Miami. I like Miami enough that I took the -7 plus 125. So I think that really tells it all. I think that Miami definitely is going to have an easier time messing with this Notre Dame team if they bring that same kind of offensive efficiency. I do like the 1-2 tandem of Isaiah Wong to Cam Auguste, and that just allows Charlie Moore to just float around and just wait for those beautiful 3-point opportunities. If it's a close game, I do have faith in Miami being able to pull out the outright win if they don't cover the spread. However, with this Notre Dame team, I'm impressed with Byron Wesley. I like Byron Wesley. I think about Byron Wesley, and I wish that he played for UConn, but he doesn't. He plays for Notre Dame. It's going to be a brawl. It's a situational Notre Dame spot. I cannot fault anybody for backing them. I'm just going with what my numbers are saying, and this is saying that Miami wins this game by 11 points.
Yeah, hey, I've been on Miami. I think Notre Dame shoots the ball better than the other night. I don't think they could have get any worse than that shooting it against 100%. Duke. That 100%. Was awful.
I ate crow on the first half over, Connor. I remember that quite clearly.
I ate it hard. All right, Max, how about this one? Pitt, Wake Forest. Wake Forest laying 12.5, total 136. What do you like in this one?
Yeah, listen, I do have a freaking little bit of love for Pitt, but Wake team total over 74.5 is just a very attractive lady of the night. Dr. Mandy would be like, Max, bet that, cash in, I'll take my top off for you. And I want her to do that, Connor. I want her to do that.
Excellent. I don't blame you. Hartford, New Hampshire. New Hampshire's laying 3, total 130. Did you have anything here?
Yeah, I'm looking towards New Hampshire. I think that with New Hampshire at home with Jaden Martinez, Nick Waterama, these are two guys that can create from all three levels on their own. I do like Blondie Tish Koengo. He's definitely a fellow Canadian of mine, and of course that's why I like him. He's got attitude. He's a bulldog. He's a very good on-ball defender. This team seems to be getting healthy and more depth as the season goes on. And with Hartford, while they did look good against Maine, they are taking a pretty big step up in class when we're talking about New Hampshire on their home court. I have a couple numbers that really favor New Hampshire and put me over the freaking moon. And then when I got a 1.5 discount on it, I was like, okay, cool. So I'm riding New Hampshire and hoping that they keep it free and live hard and not die young.
Yeah. Excellent. Our guy T-Mac wants to know Fordham under 126 the game here, and while we're at it, they're +5. What do you like in that one?
Yeah, listen, with Fordham, it's a pretty simple formula. Are they going to be healthy? Are they going to have Chuba Arms? Are they going to have Antonio Day? Is Darius Quisenberry going to be able to put up an outlier 36 type point game? I'm not sure. I think that with Fordham, they're very dependent on that 3-point shot. And I got to look for a guy like Kyle Rose to be able to come out of the woodworks and give you an outlier type game for Fordham if they don't have the amount of support that we thought they would in the early season. I think that for me, it has to be an under. I'm not going to want to put my money at this time of the year on Fordham finding that consistent 3. And if you can double team Quisenberry, then you can really take away their best, most consistent scoring option.
Yeah, it's a pass for me all around that game. I don't trust Fordham enough. St. Louis, George Mason laying 1 max, total 137.5. Did you have a look here?
Yeah, listen, I may regret this, but I'm riding with George Mason. I'm impressed by the development of Devontae Gaines and Josh Odoro. I'm going to ride that. I do think that George Mason has shown definite ability to isolate the freaking main scoring threat on their opponent and really take them out of rhythm, take them out of the game, attack them on the defensive end. And that's a really nice move by Coach English. I think that this is a game that they have to bring their best for. I think that they rise to the occasion against this opponent. And without Javonte Perkins for the St. Louis team, it's always going to be what if. And this is a game where if Javonte's in, he affects the line to the tune of 4.5 points. And without him, I'm not taking the Billikens.
Yeah. All righty. How about this one, Max? USC Upstate, 3.5-point favorites versus Howard. Did you have anything here?
Yeah, with USC Upstate, this is definitely a team that has provided us some value, but we are seeing the odds makers catch up to them. And I just don't think that I can be gung-ho about it. I have to be freaking very controlled. It's like when you go and get a lap dance, you don't want to get too crazy too early. Otherwise, they're going to throw you out, and you don't want to have that fucking happen to you. I think that when you look at USC Upstate, being able to go onto the road and beat this Hampton team is going to be interesting because Hampton is probably playing their best basketball of the season, and that's a very, very weird thing to have come out of my mouth. This is a Hampton team that I've been talking about struggling to score 60 points in a game. And now, coming off that Charleston Southern win, they definitely have shown maybe they can fucking start scoring. It starts on the defensive glass with them. If they're able to get on the glass, use DeJour Dickens, who's returned to the lineup, in a good, positive way to deter some Upstate drivers, then yeah, they're going to give Upstate all they can handle. But at the end of the day, Upstate, by my numbers, has a big first half advantage. They have a big full game advantage. And I feel like I'm walking into a goddamn trap, but I'm taking them. I love Jordan Gainey. I think he's a fucking difference maker, and I think that he's going to bring me home some money tonight. So let's go. Fuck with your eyes open, son.
Excellent. And yeah, you had Hampton. J. Rowe, he wrote down Upstate versus Howard. It's Hampton. Try to get the right team for here on some of these. Navy
yeah, that's
versus
all good.
Lee.
I know all the teams in the game.
Yeah, I basically got it. Yeah, sometimes I just read directly off. Navy Lehigh, total 133. Max, Navy's laying 6. What do you like here?
Yeah, a bit of an emotional game for me, but from a personnel perspective, Lehigh with these two freshman guards, especially Keith Higgins, makes such a big difference for their overall and bottom line. At home, playing in a revenge game where they beat this team by 8, they're going to have to be on their best game. I think that looking at Navy first half is definitely a good possibility. However, with this Navy team, John Carter has been in a slump. And as John Carter goes, this team goes. They got lots of depth on paper. Do not get me wrong. I just cannot take them full game at this number. I think that I still want to attack them when it comes to unders. I still want to attack them when it comes to live betting second half spreads and second half unders. But I won't take them as a 6 or 6.5 point favorite on the road against this Lehigh team with this developmental guard tandem that they got.
Excellent. Tease wants to know Coppin State, Delaware State, laying 12, total 142. Did you have anything in this one?
I'm taking the over in the game. I think that Coppin State is going to force Delaware State to score the basketball. And call me fucking crazy, but I did it. I took Delaware State first half and full game. I think that game against Morgan State definitely showed that they are not as spineless as I was thinking before. It's a huge stinker. And for a team that didn't cover any games before they covered against Delaware, they have covered the last 2. I think I'm willing to go and roll the dice one more time. It's not a high rated play or anything like that. It's just me being a degen gambler and wanting action on a game that I think that I have a fucking winner on.
Excellent. All right, Max. Dayton, VCU. Man, this one should be in the 50s, I'm guessing, if it can get to the 60. VCU -4, total 120, 120 and a half. What do you like here?
Yeah, listen, I tried to sacrifice a potato to the gambling gods, but they did not fucking say anything to me. From this game, Conor, all I'm thinking about is I'm splitting it up. I'm playing it 2 games within 1. I think that Dayton as a dog at more than a 3-point bucket has good value to me. And then when I look at this game from a total perspective, I want to see scoring in the first half. I want to see a clamp down, and I want to see these teams avoid fouling each other. Let's not forget these teams scored 105 points last time they played. So I do think that we are getting a pretty nice number considering it did open up at 118.5. I'm going to ride with who I think has the better offense, and that's with Malachi Smith on the Dayton side. Daron Holmes is going to be a freaking boatload to handle. And no disrespect to Marcus Deshonis or Jaden Nunn or anybody on that VCU team. I just think that if this is a pick 'em, then I'd look at VCU. But at this number, I have to look at the dog.
Yeah, they're just not the team you like laying points with, Max. You know, like it's just when they're catching 4 or 3, like it's like take VCU.
Like
they're just gonna stand.
Like the Campbell game.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's just when you don't have that great offense, even though they clamp down, I think the game's just close, like you talked about. And I know even at 120, I could only lean under in that one. All right, how about this one, Max? NJIT versus Vermont. Vermont's laying a massive number, 19.5, total 136.5.
Yeah, listen, I'm definitely looking at this Vermont team, and when it comes to overs, I think that this Vermont team is scoring the basketball. You have 40% 3-point shooters in Finn Sullivan, Ben Shenangu, and of course Ryan Davis. The key for them is getting off to a good start. When they're putting up 40 plus in the first half at home, they're going to be on their way to cashing their team total. They're going to be on their way to freaking cashing a first half spread. If they approach this game the way that they did the first time out against this group, let's not forget there is a little bit of hated animosity toward these guys because they did eliminate them. Miles Coleman is a very good lead guard. And when you look at Dylan O'Hearn, he is another very good lead guard. And NGIT needs the right opponent to get up get that up-tempo scoring going. I think that they're solid in the front court with two guys that can defend and rebound, and it's going to be a fight. I'm not really jumping to lay the points with Vermont, but like I was talking about before, I think that Vermont live first half is the way that I'm going to approach it, and that was something that was an idea and a thought given to me. So I'm just going to ride that genius of Crum.
Excellent. Yeah, it's a game I am off. How about this one, Max? Drake at Indiana State. Drake's laying 4.5. Total 144.5.
So this was the game that I started talking about when we were talking about SIU Missouri State. So now my semi-inebriated ass can get back to it, and I can say that yes, if Indiana State has Cooper Neese and Micah Thomas back tonight, then yeah, they're going to give Drake all that they can handle. Drake is getting into their best game shape. Tucker DeVries is definitely one of the reasons why he's probably one of the top freshmen in the conference, if not the top freshman. I think that this is a well-coached team. This is a disciplined defensive team, but on the road, they got to definitely show that they're worth a play with how they burnt our bankroll already this year. For me, it's Indiana State or pass now with these roster and personnel additions, but it definitely has live betting written all over it.
Yeah, I wanted more points to really pull the trigger here with Indiana State. Drake's playing a little bit better, but how bad they've been ATS, Max. Yeah, there's too many games today. I'm not going to lay it with them for sure. From Crystal Warren, it's her birthday. She wants to know UMass Lowell versus Maine. UMass Lowell 6-point favorites. Total 134.5.
Yeah, I think that with this Maine team, it's very key for them to get their 3-point shot going. It's pretty much how they live and die. If they are hitting threes early in the game, I do think that you're going to see them be able to get this game over. I think they're going to be able to give UMass Lowell a nice piece of revenge. But if not, they're going to get fucked right in the mouth. I don't like this UMass Lowell tempo that they play. They really try and guard you hard for a long time in the shot clock. They're not going to back off and give you space. So you're going to have to be really crisp with your passing, and that's something that Maine has struggled with. You can definitely get into the passing lanes against Maine and get some turnovers and get some scoring transition opportunities. And for an over, that's really good. I think that could benefit it. From a side perspective, I want to take Maine at least early at home. However, I haven't done so yet.
Okay, last kind of small one. We'll hit all kind of some bigger games, marquee games, and then we'll go rapid fire, Max. So our last one here, American versus Lafayette. American's catching 6, total 130. What do you like here?
Yeah, listen, I like Lafayette in this game. I do think that this is their one opportunity to get a good win against someone in conference by margin. American is very reliant on the 3-point shooting. If Conor Nelson re-injured himself again, that takes away their second best free throw shooter. And outside of Stacey Beckton, there isn't really a lot of consistent free throw shooting you're going to get from this team. So when you leave points at the free throw line on the road versus a very good ball facilitation team in Lafayette with CJ Fulton and Neil Quinn leading the way, it's very difficult for me to back you as a dog, even at this number.
Yeah, we talked about a pound cake. Just go back a little bit. Me and Max hit that game. All right, Max, real quick. Arkansas laying 10.5, total 150, 151. Does Arkansas roll here? Can this game stay under?
Yeah, this is a pass for me, Connor. You got this one.
Yeah, this one for me. I just don't love laying double digits on the road with the Arkansas team. I just like them at home. They have played better on the road. Just stay away game. I think there's better games out there to bet. I do think that total's a little bit high, though. Can Georgia keep up, score 65? Then maybe it gets over, because I think Arkansas can score 85 at least in that one. How about Purdue? Big one here, Max. Laying 11 versus Minnesota. This total's come down. I wish it was still higher, from 143 to 140.5. Now some 141s. What do you like here?
I think that with Purdue, I love how Zach Edey plays. I hate how Big Ten officials try to officiate him. And I think that with Minnesota, it's hard to tell what you're going to get from them. I think that they rise to the occasion tonight versus a team that they can go and get into a real rock fight with. However, at the end of the day, with Jaden Ivey on the court, Brandon Newman out of his shooting funk, and Zach Edey being able to score over 7-footers, I'm going to look at that team total at 75.5 with Purdue.
Yeah, I'm staying off the game. This total's come down too much. I'm worried the way Purdue scores if they get over. I just got to stay off. I don't got my number. I don't have it. I'm not going to play it. Shout out to Rob with the $4.99 dono, my guy. Real deal right here with the dono. Thank
Shout
you,
out,
my
Rob.
guy.
Fuck
We
with your eyes
appreciate-
open, Rob. You do it right, bro.
Always.
You do it right.
Hell yeah. Real quick, shout out to Canes Nation. We did talk upstate, and Max did talk about Houston. Just go back and listen. Do you want to go rapid fire here, Max, before we get out of here? These?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's rock it, Big Show.
Yeah, this is dog and over for me.
Pass.
Yep, this is definitely Army. Loyola Maryland seems like they have something going on with them.
Army. +4.
Stony Brook in a variety of ways, including the alt spread.
I just don't love that it's 7. So it's just a lean for me.
Yeah, I'll take Bucknell first half, but I'll take Colgate team total over.
I can't lay it with Colgate. That team total might be a good look because I don't want to lay 15.5, even though they might cover the number.
That is a pass for me.
It's not enough points for Butler. If they're at home, they play a little bit different, and I like them, but I can't do it. It was a pass.
Definitely liking Campbell at the opener. Now liking Presbyterian because Rayshawn Harrison is just that good.
Yeah, man, I love this Campbell team. I like Presbyterian. I think this is a good basketball game, Max. I kind of going to stay off. I'd lean Presbyterian +4 here at home.
Yeah, I think that as the number moves more in favor of East Tennessee State, I think Western Carolina becomes more of an attractive home dog. This is where they've been doing their most barking, even at 2 a.m. when you're trying to get sleep.
I'm not on this one, but I got to think we see points, and more points.
I'll take the freaking carrot with LaSalle going and being a little bit of a dog. It's one thing to beat Fordham at home. It's another thing to beat Jameer Brickus and company.
This was a pass for me. I lean George Washington just a little bit.
All about Albany. Paul Newman is the star tonight.
Paul Newman, great actor. I lean Albany as well at home a little bit. Laying if you can get 1.5.
First half over, and it's going to be a birthday present to Crystal Warren.
Yeah, there should be points in this game. It's just, do you want to lay this much with Furman? Great basketball team. There could be junk points, so I stayed off the spread.
That is a spot where I like Sanford. I think that at this type of number, get some pretty good value with Q Glover leading this team.
Yeah, Chattanooga's been really good, but it's just one of those teams, Max. I don't want to lay 7 with them on the road, so it was a pass. I wish I was catching 10 with Sanford. I like it a little bit better.
Yeah, this is a spot where I like first half over. I think that Virginia Tech can light somebody up if they're hitting some threes and getting some inside action from Keve Aluma. I'm definitely going to sacrifice another potato after the show to ensure that happens.
I don't know if Virginia Tech can score enough here. I know Georgia Tech's played a little bit better. They still have a tough time scoring at times, but I piqued my interest here at 10.5 a little bit with Tech.
Yeah, this is a spot where I want to fade this huge line move. It's up to now 6.5 points. I will gladly take Illinois State to play some shitty ass defense and for Loyola Chicago to finally snap out of this offensive slumber they've been in.
Yeah, they should play better. I don't want to lay that big a number. 14.5.
Yeah, listen, this is a classic underspot conference game. 150 total, down a point. At 151 or 151 and a half, it's definitely a little dangerous. I think that the better play is to put Darian Sebron into one of your monkey knife lineups tonight.
Yeah, Max. Here, if they took teams just start playing the Olay defense and are shooting the threes and like Syracuse is raining, it will go over. But I'd have to lean under too.
All right, boys, 3 left. This one matches the background.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So
little
on
different
our
spread.
background, Connor, we have Oklahoma State and Kansas State on the board, where Oklahoma State is a 3-point favorite. That is not the line. Kansas State is a 2-point favorite. Oklahoma State has a lot of proving to do, and I just cannot back them. I think that this is an under game. So I'll fade the line movement on this one too.
I agree. I lean to the under in this, Max. And if I had to pick a side, I'd take K-State. Lay the bucket.
Well, this game is definitely an interesting one. I think that we could get some points. Revenge situation. Villanova, if you don't want to fuck with your eyes open tonight, when will you ever?
That's the problem. What Villanova team are we going to get? They just have not been the same team on the road all year long. They got to win by 5. It's a revenge. I've been all over Marquette. All you know that, Max, for weeks. So it's Marquette or pass. It's ugly. It's a square dog probably, but I got to ride it out.
Yeah, this is a spot where I took the over in the Vanderbilt-Kentucky game. I think that with Kentucky at home, we are going to see good 3-point shooting from Kellen Grady, good ball facilitation, and the healthier that they get, the better they're going to get, and it's February time. It's time to thump somebody. Vanderbilt better bring Scottie Pippen's best game. Otherwise, they're going to be getting hosed with a bunch of cock soup.
Yeah, Scottie Pippen Jr.'s got to light it, like you said, Max. He's got to drop 30 for him to be in it. I didn't want to lay with Kentucky as a pass. All right, that's it. We got them all, Max. We are done. Shout out to the chat. Crystal Warren, again, happy birthday. Rob Sterling Gentry Jr. Some of these games you guys have thrown in the chat, we have touched them. Just go back and take a listen. Mark, shout out to you, my man. Thanks for joining us. Schillenberg, Victor G, Rem Mose, Jake, Canes Nation, Rob for the dono. We appreciate it. It means a lot to us, man. Here at Pub Sports Radio, TCATL, Gerald Jones, great to see you. Matty Ice, Taint, Master.
Taint.
Wait, I missed the Taint. Taint is the over. Beautiful. Taint is the over. Wisconsin, Illinois, 136 and a half.
Ooh. That sounds
Beautiful.
like Scarlett Johansson Taint. That sounds like Wisconsin team total over Taint. I like it. I like it.
I like it too. All I worry is the rock fight we talked about in that game, but if you looked at everything, to me, I think you can get over that number. It's a little bit low, as we talked about earlier. All right, shout out to everyone, Drevin Jones, everyone, Mike M, if I missed you, Dana, Del, Abel, all you guys, thanks for always being here. Hit the like button on the way out. Remember to do that. All right, Max, give them your whatever you're betting tonight. Let me know. Give the chat a last word. I'll give them my bets. We'll get out of here.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to go to the A10 to a team that broke my heart when they freaking slashed the throats of my Bonnies, threw their carcasses out the freaking semi-truck door, and it wasn't a very pretty body afterwards. I'm going with George Mason to do the same thing to St. Louis. You come into Fairfax, Virginia, you're leaving without an arm. And I'll tell you, Devontae Gaines, Josh Oduro, Deshaun Schwartz, bring me the cupcakes. George Mason money line, Connor. Get the best juice you can. If you can get under 130, I'm down with that.
Yeah, I think we can get you to under 130 here,
minus
Max.
115, minus 120.
Yeah, 120. Yeah, 115. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, they're just laying one. You could get a 120 or 115 for sure. All right, Max is on George Mason. Let's get to mine here. VMI Greensboro. Guys, that this total is light. I might go down in flames. Over 136 and a half. My lone over that I really like, even though I love the taint there. I didn't love too many overs today. Bradley, plus 4.5. Me and Max are on opposite sides there. I also lean under in that game. I thought that total was a little bit high. Bradley, Northern Iowa. Gardner Webb, High Point, under 130. Man, I think this is a rock fight, low-scoring game, and lean High Point in that game. They're home dog catching 2. And I'm off. It was just a lean, Max. If I bet it, I'll put it out on Twitter. I lean to the under in Temple, East Carolina, like we talked about early. All right, that is it. We're out of here, Max. Let's get on out. Raymond, Jake, Rob, hit that like button on the way out. We appreciate it. We got to get out of here. Have a great night. Cash your tickets. He's a great Maxwell Smart. I'm Conor Mack. And we be pumping!